Not the boobas. Let's look at something controversial, boys. This is gonna be something. And we're talking about the YouTube loading bar. Finally, we're getting into it. Somewhere in Kawaii Meatland.
Oh, hello. You caught me being a bit of a bookworm in my own house, which is fine. You see, I've been digesting a lot more anime lately because there's been a lot of cultural outcry on the internet lately. Not only did I do a video on a guy who married a fictional anime character named Hatsune Miku, but even more recently,
is that canon of the meat?
He is that on the internet that just leaked all of his lolicon art on his stream, and it's been a huge debate and debacle lately. I wanted to do a video on this very subject because even my video recently was kind of about a lolicon himself. And I do think that it's one of the most depraved and disgusting fandoms in all of anime and really all of media in general. So today, I just want to be fully transparent.
I mean, it's not really an unpopular take to say that. I mean, these are depiction characters that are designed after children. So no wonder someone will get to that conclusion in the end of the day.
Talking about lolicons. If you don't know what a lolicon is, it's about guys who...
Oh no.
They like anime.
Don't put Michael in that category, man. Leave the king alone. That's do you know all of that is a hoax, buddy?
Girls that are 8 to 10 years old and they pedophilia. We're talking about pedophilia today. So if you don't like that, I just want to put that right up front just in case you don't like it. But I do think it's a very fascinating, depraved, disgusting piece of the internet that I think would be lovely to talk about because these little cockroaches are hiding in plain sight. And
I don't think anything crazy is going to be shown.
I mean, how the hell did we even get here?
This is YouTube after all.
I do want to say I do have a surprise because I want to take a step back and talk about all the different facets of anime, the different kinds, because anime, it could appeal to your dad. It could appeal to your younger brother.
God damn. Dude, Nami's boobs got like increased every season. Like I swear to God, at one time in One Piece journey, they're just gonna drop the both and just like sit on Nami's back. Cause fucking hell, they have done so much fan service on this woman. It's insane.
Anime is so wide and vast that you have to really understand how the hell did we get to a place like Lolicon. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but I do have quite the surprise today. The legend himself, Akira Toriyama, the master mangaka who created Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Have you heard of it? He's going to be here today to tell us about all the different kinds of anime and kind of guide us into the medium as a whole. Oh, there's a knock at the door. I wonder who it is. Let's find out. Oh God,
I feel pain. Who is it, Papa?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Who is it?
Akira Toriyama.
Oh shit.
What the fuck, man?
Colonel!
Hey, who the hell are you? Hey, come here!
Oh, look at this right here. Oh, Yu Yu Hakusho, the Death Note, Naruto, and Dragon Ball Z. You got all of
Dude, I love the big stains on his body, man. Colonel has been eating too much fried chicken. Ooh.
Oh, come on, man. Stop. You're getting grease on those books. Oh, God. Don't touch me. Oh, my God.
Oh, apologies on my belated arrival. I brought a big old family bucket of fried chicken on occasion of us being bigger boys.
Colonel, where is Akira Toriyama? He was supposed to be here, and now you're here. I'm so confused right now. Honestly, guys, I'm so sorry. I promised them... Do you know where he is?
Mr. Toriyama couldn't make it due to prior arrangements, but I was more than happy to oblige for an old friend and act upon his replacement now.
Well, I mean, I do need to make this video, and I mean, I have a chicken guy here, so I mean, if you know anything about anime, I'd love to hear it.
I'm quite well versed in the art of anime. You have the shonen genre, which means young boy with action-based plots that typically have eccentric stories with increasing odds and powers. You know, like your Dragon Balls and your Demon Slayer. You know what I'm talking about.
Those are some good ones.
I'll be honest, I do like those quite a bit.
Then there's shoujo, meaning young girl, which are plots for girls like Sailor Moon or slice of life anime like The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya.
People love that one.
It's funny hearing you say these things, I'll be completely honest.
But of course, you can't forget seinen, which is anime for teens. You know what I'm talking about, the youngsters. Typically, more action-based with more thorough plot and things that appeal to that kind of audience. You know what I mean, some of the darker ones, like Berserk.
Ooh.
Okay.
Lastly, you have Josai, the for the least spoken of anime for women, the women folk, older baby carriers, as they say. And it discusses a boring adult topics like marriage,
Berserk is his own league. I think Berserk is definitely in its own league. And I don't know about, like, I don't fully agree that all of the animes he's shown is for teens. I feel like they are for more like older people in the end of the day. Women folk, yeah, those women.
family life, all the stuff those broads like to talk about. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, you know what we're
really
talking about.
You said older women like that, like you were disgusted. If I'm being completely honest, but honestly, that was not expected. That you're like a goddamn walking lexicon of anime. I mean, this is sick. I mean, I guess maybe the video is saved after all. Well, sweet. I mean, I guess I have to ask, do you know anything about lollies at all, or?
I like the candy, but I do favor a nice bucket of fried chicken.
Dang, Colonel.
Dear fucking God, the lollipop. No, not the candy. It doesn't matter. You know what? Thank you for your help here. Just if you could just leave, and I'll move on with my life. I appreciate it. So
No, go on.
no. Seriously.
I love even this wild depiction of Colonel. Looks so friendly. Like, look at this guy. He looks like a nice dude.
Come on. Just go ahead and leave. Thanks. This is a struggle. I don't know how other YouTube channels do it. I have never been good with guests, so I apologize for that. Oddly enough,
I'll let chicken bucket once. I've never had chicken bucket in my life.
Of anime, and lolicon comes from.
But every time I see pictures of chicken bucket nowadays, they look horrendous. I don't know. Like, my imagination of a chicken bucket isn't really what it would be. I had a chicken bucket once. It was great. Why make it twice then?
Style of anime known as lolly. First of all, lolly means
chicken
a
at
young
the bottom is cold. You gotta just eat it quick.
Japanese anime or manga. So the term lolly just means it's like a young looking.
Wasn't that great though?
That's where that comes from. But lolicon focuses on young female characters in suggestive and erotic content. The male equivalent of this is called shotacon. It's basically, I mean, it's just pedophilic anime.
Is it? I don't think lolicon is suggestive of being like sexual. I think it can be, but it's not suggested as being sexual. I have never heard that in my life because lolicon is like just generally, I mean, it's just a term for like a form of visuals and behavior.
There's no really easy way of batting around the bush, but the term comes from the 1955 novel Lolita, which is about a middle-aged man falling in love with a 12-year-old girl, which, yes, that's also the Stanley Kubrick film Lolita, and it was adapted in the 90s as well, and it's a lot more graphic. Just want to put that out there. So if you're a big film buff and someone's like, let's watch the 90s Lolita, keep an eye on that guy. That's all I gotta say.
I do agree. Differentiate. Maybe he's right.
Good voice. I don't know what to tell you.
Nothing wrong with cute girls, Mr. Hancock. Nothing wrong with cute girls at all.
Which, here's the thing, just because you like lolly content doesn't mean that you like lolicon stuff, right? Like, you can like big, goofy, fun, cute characters. I mean, personally, I don't. You've seen the stuff I make, but you can like that kind of stuff. But it's just whenever you get into the aspects of sexualizing it. I mean, good example, Sailor Moon. I had a buddy who loved watching Sailor Moon back in the day. Cute girls, whatever, and then you got those panty shots. I mean, whenever you're a kid, I think I was like 9 at the time or something like that. Whenever you see that, you're like, I mean, I don't really give a shit about a girl twirling, whatever, but it appeals to that little boy audience, right? But here's the thing about Sailor Moon,
little boy audience.
14-year-old girl in the series. There's 100.
I don't like where you're going with that,
I know
man.
that statistic because a guy online made a PDF document going through each episode where there is a panty shot in great detail.
Yeah, but that is like mental issue. That's like, then you need to you got to get some help if that's what you're doing. Like, who in the right mind decides to make a PDF file about when there's a panty shot in a show? Like, that is insanity.
More funny about that are the comments on the post of people being like, I'm disturbed that this is a file for download. So it's just, it's murky territory. You know what I mean? You start off with something that might be cute and innocent, and then you throw in like weird panty shots on 14-year-olds, and you kind of get some upskirt angles and things that are maybe a bit too sexual for comfort, and then you got a little fandom of creeps. Okay?
Oh my God. Nothing wrong with a nice
Colonel does not like it. He does not support us.
Then comes the real crux of why I thought that this video was interesting is the defense. People that like this kind of stuff are on the defense all the time. And what's interesting from even the consumers and the creators is that people justify this because you're like, oh, it looks like you're sexualizing a child. But they're like, dude, she's a 7,000-year-old dragon wizard, okay? She's older than you and I. She's older than every person ever in your family combined, okay? I mean, she has more insight and maturity.
So this is what I think about. So this is my hot take, and people will disagree and agree and whatever and mix it around. So this is my hot take on all of this fucking bullshit about drawings and age. I think age don't fucking matter at all. What really matters is what is this model? Like, what is this model base physique based on? Was it model after a 30-year-old woman, or was it model after a 10-year-old? That is the question. And that is what I look at. I don't give a shit about the age of the, like, you can make someone look old and then they say they're 5 years old. I mean, like, age in art doesn't really matter. It's more about, like, what the hell is this based upon? Because you can't really be playing around the subject like that. You know what I mean?
And that's like one of the big defenses, right? People and the creators being able
to
get around
doing?
with little loopholes like that makes it feel like it justifies this very creepy act, which I don't know if it does. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it doesn't. I'd like to, in a lot of cases, I like to play devil advocate, but I need to put an extreme foot down that no, this is just, it's just plain gross and wrong, if I'm being completely honest. Even let's say that you drive home that point, right? This character is so much older. It's a 7,000-year-old dragon wizard. It was transformed. It's actually an old person stuck in a little girl's body.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that I would say 99% of the time in these cases, or if not 100% of the time, these characters act like little children. A good example of that is Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. There's no beating around the bush. I mean, I looked at this show for a little bit. I mean, it's supposed to be this big, powerful dragon that turns into this little girl, but she acts like an absolute toddler, and they put like big one of these on them. So it's just this really weird, odd, it's like a sour taste in your mouth where you're like, what is this for? What's the end plan with this? The constant barrage of, it's cute, becomes their narrative. It's cute. These things are cute. I just like doing it because it's cute. I mean, it's just the intense taste of salt in your mouth is what I get. It's grating on so many levels.
I don't remember the show. I watched it, but I don't remember it.
The creators of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, I love saying that. The creator of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid have never specified her age. But because she can transform into a big dragon, people just speculate that she's 7,000 years old, even though that's just made up for their own kind of, you know, desires to justify what they're doing. But she looks like an 8 or 9-year-old child. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid team, just come out and say something. Or better yet, let's just not make it. Can I get an amen for that? Amen. I just want to say that.
Amen. Okay.
The ripest fruit does stay on the stem the longest, Mr. Meat. Oh, and boy, is it sweet.
What kind of analogy even is that? What are you saying that it's sweeter, that they're younger, or that they're older? What does that even mean? Please leave at any time. I just, like, seriously.
Okay.
Dude, I need a Colonel in my stream. I just need, like, them to show up whenever people do, like, donate or do something happens. I just need Colonel to spread some wisdom. Can you imagine if I had, like, a hype train spawns and then Colonel pops up and just gives random words of wisdom? I would love that. I would love that.
Be over here, making some of that fried chicken.
Where the hell did this come from?
Deep fry here.
Don't bring in the giant deep fryer in my living room. He's got the books all covered in fucking grease, and he pulls in a cartoonishly large deep fryer. Come on, man. For one bucket of chicken, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to get through it to him, but needless to say, this is just one instance. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, that's just one instance of many cases. Really, when you get down into the comment sections and forums, it really varies from person to person of these kinds of excuses they make, and that's really where the trench warfare begins with a lot of these things. You have, like, weird lingo, so if you're in some forums and you see some of this lingo, be sure, you know, keep an eye out, because you might be in some very rocky territory. So there's a group of people that refer to stuff as quote-unquote cheesecake, which is basically a pinup pose that aren't necessarily not safe for work, but it alludes to not safe for work, right? Which is still wrong. You're alluding to the thing. It's like It's like getting around and you're undressing it with your mind. We know what you're doing. But there's a group of people who are like, well, I mean, nothing's really happening. I mean, yeah, sure. It looks like she's bending over and doing that, but it's not really the case, so it's fine, right? Wrong. If you catch yourself in a conversation like this, here's what you do. Run away from this.
I mean,
is the biggest thing. Which a lot of people also say, as long as it sticks to PG-13 content, the sexualization and everything is minimalized. There's really no victims, right? Wrong! Once again, wrong. The idea isn't necessarily that you're affecting anyone in the physical real world, but it's the implications that are happening, and I think it's just the mindset that you're creating.
Wait, did this happen in the show? How do I know? Did this actually happen? I don't remember this at all. What the fuck is this? Never. Is this season 2? Oh, I've never seen season 2. That is season 2. Okay, I've never seen this. Bro, what the fuck is going on? This looks like a hentai at this point. Hey, yo.
Implications that are happening, and I think it's just the mindset that you're creating. I really don't think that this kind of fantasy can be broken up. In some kinds of drama and film, like even Lolita the film, we're never seeing the character in a positive light. We're following a pedophilic monster. There's nothing that is a positive, healthy association of your sexuality to these characters. So by doing so, even in these non-explicit but still suggestive pictures, I still feel like it's just an irreversible amount of damage that you can do to yourself.
I agree. I think like if you look at it in this way, I can't really think of the anime on this time of that I could give as a good example. But I know Genshin is a really good example of this, because whenever they have lollies in their game, they really are depicted as children. They act like kids. They just do child stuff. There are no weird or hinted or crazy moments. And if somebody has a weird hinted moment, that's somebody that is a nutcracker that needs to seek some help. So, but like, I do find these moments to be very uncomfortable and weird, and I can understand as like I can't even understand it. It's like I wouldn't even say it's a cultural difference or anything like that, but this is just overall like unfortunate and very uncomfortable to view.
Coming back from it, you
good afternoon. Hi,
weird things, and then you
like, again, I want to say like this as well, like there's nothing wrong with having like small young characters if they're depicted as cute, because you're like in your brain you're like, oh, it's adorable, protect it. But like whenever they do these kind of scenes, it's just uncomfortable at a point.
Yourself from actual society, and then guess what? You can't get real girlfriends, you can't get real wives, and if you do, you're probably in an unhappy one, is what I'd like to imagine. That's probably that's kind of rude and a bit judgy, but that's just me. You know, that's just what I have to think.
Papa, how many pieces of chicken do you want now? I know you bigger boys love
oh, Colonel. Oh, Colonel.
None. I don't want any chicken. Please, God, no pieces of chicken, please.
Okay.
Bro, I don't know. I would love to get like a piece of chicken, like handmade by Colonel Sander himself. Can you imagine that? That would be, ooh, that must be some good ass chicken. If Colonel himself makes you fried chicken, I bet that's gonna be good, buddy.
Okay, now.
But not in my home. You would not allow this beautiful man over there to enter your home with a big frying station and start frying up some chicken? I would allow him, man. Get in there, Colonel. Get your ass in, baby.
Thighs and breads. Which one you want?
None. I don't want any chicken. Please, God, no pieces of chicken, please.
I had a friend who is no longer a friend because of his opinion on the subject. I can completely respect that because it's uncomfortable. It is like many people would view this completely disgusting because it is, you know? Like, I don't know. I completely can respect that decision, and it's a shame that I don't know. I think it's really a shame this isn't really looked into enough.
Okay now, all right.
And then the other
Do people
side,
remember High School DxD? Asia was always too much for me, and then when they changed the art style for the people to be even younger, I quit. I've never watched High School DxD before. I've never watched it in my life. I just go back. I love High School DxD. Watched it for the plot. I've never watched it. But yeah, everybody watched it for the plot. I'd watch High School DxD as a joke with a friend, but honestly, I'd pick watching Frieren over High School DxD. Frieren is really good. The Frieren makes me feel something different inside. That's like, I think Frieren is the first, like, in anime or just generally show in a long time that really feels like an adventure. is very, very nice.
Believes that in no situation is any of it okay. That the sexualization of a character with any underage features is automatically
Freezing
pedophilia
also has good
and should
plot.
be considered
I haven't watched that.
cheese pizza. So you have cheesecake and you have cheese pizza. You know, these
Yeah, and then like you have to walk around this topic whenever you're talking about it because it's so open everywhere, but we can't say the word, so now we have to call it cheese pizza. You have to call it cheese pizza everywhere you go on the internet, and it's weird that we need to talk about it that often and have even a freaking word for it. Because this topic is surrounding so many subjects, and now we have to have like a code word for it to like bring up the discussion, which is a shame, and it's really weird. I don't get how we can continue on with this topic and just continue on with this, like this being presented in so many medias without any change, because it's very weird.
Sound like they're back alley deals going on. Which, if you ever see someone asking for a slice of cheese pizza on an anime forum, report and run away.
Yeah.
If it's your post, delete the post. It's like a little infection. You don't want that kind of thing coming there. But I mean, the latter half is absolutely correct. There's just none of it that should be okay. We just need to put our foot down and we need to just say that this is a real thing. And I keep reiterating the same thing because it's an ongoing battle. If you made a post on Twitter or any of these forums saying that you're
Twitter,
like, I just lolicon stuff, lollies, I just think, you know, I think that stuff phooey with it, right? Let's not.
I saw Tectone. Let's just change screen because it's so bright. I saw Tectone one day make a comment about somebody that literally legitimately made a tier list about which lolly he would fuck in a game and stuff like that. And he called him cheese pizza on Twitter, and you know, he got a lot of backlash. For saying that. And I don't understand it. It's like you're living in like a mental asylum at point on whenever you look at like Twitter or Reddit or stuff like that, because the worldview of a lot of people and is kind of nuts. I don't understand how I always thought that there was like some form of government or something like that looking into people. But whenever you look at Twitter and what people have opinion about and what they share, I feel like nobody's taking a look at what the hell is going on, buddy. At all. My daughter is 7 years old. I've never liked lolly, and never when I see it in see it outraged. I think that lolly. So there's a difference apparently between lolly and lolicon. I didn't know it was, but apparently there is. I don't mind lolly, but lolicon, like sexualizing lollies in the end, is really, really fucking nasty. But I can completely understand that when you're a dad mode and you hear all of these stupid things on the internet, I can completely understand that your mind will be defensive and right away think about the worst thing, because you are not thinking about your family and somebody you're protecting yourself. So I can completely understand it. I would never like put that down on you, but I would just want to say again, I don't think there's anything wrong with showing like lollies, like in the sense that you're showing a cute individual, like cute kid in a show or a game. But when we get to the lolicon situation, it's so straight up uncomfortable for me personally that I would probably not really be into it anymore. Like that's why whenever I looked at Wuthering Waves, I was actually really disappointed whenever I saw a lolly. Even though it was a lolly, I still was disappointed that it's going to probably go that path of having lollies in the game itself. So I don't know. Yeah.
On Twitter or any of these forums saying that you're like, I just lolicon stuff, lollies, I just think, you know, I think that stuff phooey with it, right? Let's not do it. These people crawl out of the tall grass like little roaches, and they will comment and they will start barraging you, which is just so funny because it also feels like people, they're refreshing that tab, continuously trying to start arguments, defend themselves against people who are not attacking them, because it's just the guilt. It's the guilt of the situation that drives people to do these things, to justify these horrible behaviors, and it eats away at people. I really think it does. And this last group of people believes that as long as no real life child is harmed, then there's no harm at all. Everything's okay as long as it's not a real life child. Pedophilia is not cool, but the lolicon stuff, since no one is physically and a real life child isn't actually being harmed, everything's okay. Which, once again, as I've said before, I don't think is correct. So some people in this category too, some of the things that we've been seeing doing this video and researching it that have been pretty fucking wild has been: 1, lolicon is an art form and is separate from child abuse. 2, the dark arguments that kids have sexual desires too, and that lollies experience desire. Yum. 3, neckbeards claiming that if she's old enough to bleed, she's old enough to breed.
King James Bible Online.
Reading that, but you would be surprised by how many times we actually saw it posted on the internet. It's circling back. A lot of the comments too that we saw and a lot of the arguments was, it's about the cuteness, not the age. I wanted to emphasize this part because looking at a lot of this stuff, we found that cuteness was brought up a lot, especially with a lot of anime. It's the fact that people associate the intense over sensation of cuteness that they're seeing. That's the reason why this sexual fantasy.
Nah.
That's why I'm so turned on, is because it's a cuteness overload. It's like the Minions. They're so cute. Right? They're wrong. It's just another weird excuse of beating around the bush. And it's a weird circling argument that you see. In some of these cases, it's people just saying, oh, the cuteness is what I'm attracted to. I would never do this to a real kid because they're not as cute as this anime character. It's such a weird...
The thing is that whenever you say it like that, sure, fine. But like, you know how the world is? The world is fucked up and people start from somewhere. The point is that there should never be a start to begin with.
Weird, creepy. It's like taking such a cute thing. And
did you see that? No, I fell asleep, but I heard it.
Bile that people are just drinking and shoving down their throat, and they just regurgitate it over and over again. And it's this odd hive mind of people that are like, right? That's what I'm saying. Finally, someone's speaking some sense. And then more in the racist side, I guess, of these comments is I saw a lot of people saying that's just how Asian people look. Which is a weird thing of like, there's this ongoing movement of fetishization of short, small-chested women, accentuating childlike beauty. There's this trend in Japan called yabe.
Do you know the girl Lost Tour? This is a cute girl doing depressing things in a post-apocalypse. I don't know about that. I think Girls Lost Tour is on my list. If it was from last year, it is on my list. If it's not, then I have no idea about it. But overall, I don't mind like you seeing like a heartwarming, way older than I have no idea about it. I don't mind like a heartwarming story about lollies, like in the sense that, oh god, they're going through some shit. But most of the time I prefer not. It's just but they're trying to play on an emotion of that as a child going through something hard. And I don't think it really fits this discussion at all, because now we're talking about something completely different.
Which is pretty much taking your nice teeth and actually making them crooked and stuff, and people are doing that to look more childlike and more cute. That's like a weird movement that's going on to kind of fit into this lolicon stereotype, this kind of like extremely cute thing. And like, once again, it's all just because it's cute. I get to look like an anime character. I get to look like a kid. It's cute. It's mental disease is what it is. Which here's the bottom of this weird, depraved internet culture thing that we're talking about. Lolicons. To me, it's as simple as this. If it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, and walks like a duck, it's a fucking duck.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, whenever you see someone modeled after a 28-year-old woman, actually 32-year-old woman, let's say that. Whenever they model by a 32-year-old woman and people are like, she's 15. It says in the wiki, she's 15. Brother, if the model is modeled after a 32-year-old woman, she's not 15. The same thing goes for like if they're modeled after an 8-year-old and they say she's like 50 years old, she's not 50 years old, she's 70, she's 8 years old. Like don't play around the fucking subject like that. These age things don't matter. It's all about the modeling.
I don't think that you could take your brain and really substitute these things.
Yeah.
There's no way to fucking take a limitless pill and be able to categorize all of the nuances of psychology that your brain is playing Jenga continuously to cater to your perverted fetishes. So, moral of the story is, if you see some of this shit, don't indulge in it. Don't even fucking look at it. Don't do anything with it. If they look like a kid, talk like a kid, and act like a kid, it's a fucking kid. Simple as that. It's really basic math, honestly.
Colonel,
You know, like you're saying, if it looks like fried chicken, tastes like fried chicken,
hell yeah, brother.
then it's fried chicken.
Hey.
Right? Am I right or am I right?
You have been a source of nothing but you've been so disgusting the entire time you've been here. I'd ask you to leave, but you said you just won't. I mean, will you please leave? Just get the hell out of here, man. Come on. And it all comes down to this too. It's not just the people that are consuming this content, it's also the people that are making this content. If it is about that it's just cute, then why is there so much fan service, right? Why are they animated in these poses? Why are there the panty shots? Why are there so much sexual implications to these characters that are made in the first place? And it all comes down to the argument of the innocuous and harmless harmless content versus the audience it was made for. And as a last little bit of example, this is just this is actually just like a funny troll. I just think that this is pretty funny, but if you ever see a forum where someone's like, I'm trying to get into new anime, what anime should I watch? And you see people commenting the show, Boku no Pico, do not follow
Yeah, watch for it. Yeah, go watch that.
I'm quickly realizing too
that go watch
so
that.
much wild shit in anime out there, and so much horrid shit that I feel like you kind of just got to go on a self-discovery. You can't really ask for people's.
Boku no Pico is like Darude Sandstorm for music. Like, it's the way whenever somebody asks about anything related to anime, just say that.
Opinions, because it's just, you're gonna fall into fucking traps continuously. Or at least ask a group of friends. Don't ask fucking random strangers online, because that's, I think, where you can get into something crazy, which, you know, Boku no Pico. All right, we'll just say, maybe just put a little blurb of what Boku no Pico is, because I just say, just stay away from it. If you're a fan of that show, I don't know what I was supposed to tell you. I'm not trying to use this video to shame anybody that likes cute anime, or like watches anime in general. I just think you should watch out for these weird corners of the internet where these dark things happen, because I feel like a lot of these people who are impressionable can get sucked down very quickly and pick up bad habits. Is all I gotta say.
Very true, very true. I know what you're saying, and I completely agree that these cute girls got me all stirred up in the mind. They should lock away all these cute girls for all these temptated thoughts I feel.
It looks so
No,
lost.
that's not what I said at all. Were you even listening? You've been here the whole time.
Now come on, try some chicken. Come on.
He was busy making you chicken, man.
No, it's okay.
Come on now.
I don't want to. It's fine.
Come on. The chicken is always something that tastes better than anything else before. Sometimes I like to take my hand and reach down to the bottom of the bucket and grab the loneliest little chicken wing you've ever seen. Pull it
Colonel?
from out of the darkness and show it the light. And what
Colonel?
I like to do is I like to undress the skin off the top of it. Just like so. Look at that. Crunchy and delicious, but what's the most succulent is the beautiful, juiciest white meat underneath. And I know that when I bite into it, oh, that delicious juice will squirt out of my mouth and onto my chin. Now go on, get yourself some of that. Come on now, please.
I don't want the chicken, Colonel.
Please just bite it once,
Oh my God.
please. Come on, I mean,
No,
come on.
I said I don't want it. Get off me, Colonel!
Let's eat some chicken. Oh.
I'm being deep fried alive now.
Oh my God.
It burns
Oh
me.
God.
Good. I was just talking about chicken. I wasn't talking
Oh
about
my
nothing
God.
else.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Is Colonel a chicken
Sick
piece
son
now?
of a bitch fried himself. You know, in hindsight, I don't think he's talking about fried chicken. I think he knew a little bit too much information. I think he knew too much. This is for the best. Thanks for watching, everybody.
I thought this was gonna be way worse. I thought he was gonna go way deeper into the topic and slander, though, like talking more shit about them. Because I saw Twitter being angry, and Twitter is always angry, so I was like, oh, what is going on now? But this wasn't that bad. This was not as bad as I'd assume. Okay. Good video, Papa. Good video, Meat Papa. Hi, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like the video and subscribe. I'll post videos nearly every day, so if you want to watch any more reactions, feel free to subscribe and I'll see you there.